thing that the feedback that I'd give is I'm not clear about what I'm supposed to do in order to win here. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not getting it. Then that's a very real thing that could be happening right now. I'm in my first cup of coffee today. So I'll post this on your game, and then when you get it, maybe you can give me some instructions to what I should be looking for, what I should be trying to do a little bit better to get a higher score, and that would be great. And I'll probably come back and play it again before the jam's over. So overall, thanks a lot. We're gonna move on. Let's go look at some more entries here. Let me save this URL so I can come back. Come on. So my reviews from earlier. Alright, that's game number 1. Let's see here. Excuse me. Da, 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 da. All right. Throw that in the message here for Twitch. Alright, and then let's go over here and jump in for game number 2. Browser playable. Xville. I haven't played this one yet. Based on a movie about a fake movie. Barely. Alright. Argo 2012. Never saw it. Looks like it could be good. Alright, let's check it out. On the first game jam based on the final-ish scene in Argo, was very close to not even submitting. Gave it a menu and an end scene, and there you go. It's very hard to finish. A lot of times when I'm doing a jam, to make it across that finish line can be a real challenge. I like to use a list tool. I use Trello, but I'm not trying to push that or anything, but just some sort of tool to keep track of kind of all the little items that I want to do in the game. And then as I get closer to the deadline, I'll go and I'll start to cut things. And I have a cut list. And I come back to that cut list after the game jam and look back at those features to see if I want to bring them back into the game again, if I'm going to go further. So I don't lose sight of my ideas. They always persist. But I'm able to make those decisions as I'm going through so I can get to the end and kind of have something to submit finally. If you play Larva, which is my game that I submitted, there's a lot of things that we still want to do that we didn't put into the game at the end because it was getting late and we were one day from submission and things just started to go off to the cut list. And there's a Trello board that's got like to do, doing, done, cut. And the cut list has quite a bit of cards in it. We actually want to have a whole nother level in the game where you would go into the ear before you got into Chekhov's brain, and we weren't able to implement that at all. So a lot of stuff like that was cut off, and that's what I would recommend. I don't know if this is the entire thing here, or if I'm waiting for something else to load up, because he did say he gave it a menu, so maybe there's something that's not quite working right. I'll post this in the comments, and if there's something I'm missing, or maybe you have any XC, you can send it to me. I can load it up and play your game that way, because I definitely do want to give it a go. And then, check out something like Trello or some other kind of tool that you can use to keep track of what you want to do in really small, tasks, if you will, and itemize out what your goal is and try to use the small pieces to get there. And then feel free to just throw stuff, and you're not throwing it away. You can come back and implement it later, but it's a really good way to make sure that you do enough work to have some sort of, product at the end of the jam that you can submit. And maybe you already know this. So just kind of trying to give feedback because I can't play. So go ahead and shoot me the details. And if there's an update or there's some changes you want to make, send them my way and I'll give your game another go. All right. Thanks a lot. And I'm going to go and grab your URL here and I'll post that. I like the artwork there on the card. The game didn't load for me, so, and it could be me, could be something I'm doing. All right, that was game 2. We're gonna go here now to game number 3. We'll do Human Spider. Definitely looks like a Spider-Man game. I think from maybe Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock where he saves the train. Maybe not. Could be a different one. I've seen a lot of Spider-Man movies. Oh man. Called it. Spider-Man 2. That's a great movie. I'm a big fan of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. So Sam Raimi did Hercules, Xena, Evil Dead, and then also Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, and Drag Me From Hell. So he's done quite a bit of stuff, but the original Spider-Man movies with him are just perfect in my opinion. They're much more just lighthearted and enjoyable and not so, I don't know. I could debate this, take this video a whole different direction. I'm here to play the game. Let's play the game here, but we'll check it out. Let's see. Hear a theme, staying, get you in order, action hero, music source, music, to see if there's any controls, really just skimming for that. Alright, let's go to the game page here. Inspired by the train scene from Spider-Man 2, Human Spider is an arcade-style button-mashing game where your goal is to survive for as long as possible and gain the highest score. The game was developed, I love the highest scores. The game was developed over the course of 2 weekends for the itch.io Movie Game Jam. Mash the space bar key to survive. Oh, this is gonna be cheating because I have a mechanical. It's gonna be loud too if you're watching this video. I have a loud keyboard. Cherry MX Blues. I'm ready. I'm like, my hands will blow us up. That's some really, really, really loud, epic ending music. We're gonna retry. So, I think it's right in line with the movie. I know exactly the scene that's going on, so that's cool. I like that there's a score mechanic. I think that that's great. The button mashing is really cool. I haven't played. It reminds me, the first game I ever played with button mashing was the original Contra when the steam truck's coming and you have to hit the A button and kind of get that sweet spot right in your arm on the controller just to do it perfectly, which I did the first time I played and got a score of 17. The second time I tried to go a little bit easier with my fingers and use that instead, but it was not as effective, we'll say. I have a feeling I could get a higher score than 17, but I'm going to leave that there. And I'll challenge anybody else that plays this to post your score underneath mine in the comments of this jam on the jam page. And I'll see if I can beat that score later on. So, challenges out there. There's a score involved. Overall, I think the game's great. I like the ending music. It feels really epic at the end there. I kind of wish that there was a certain min score to get an ending, like maybe a scene. But I know that, 2 weekends, that's what we did in our team too. There's a lot of stuff you probably cut out. I'd like to see you take this a little bit further, though. That would be really cool. Overall, I think it's a great entry. I'm a big fan of the movie, so I'm kind of biased on this one too. But I'm going to post this link in the Twitch chat here. And don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter and subscribe to YouTube and follow me on Twitch if you like what I'm doing.